Okay, so let's get our elevations, our building elevations ready to get onto our sheet sets. If you look over in your project browser, you notice that you do have elevations over here set to the orientation of how we've drawn this. And if we just go ahead and click on one real quick, I have south open right now. It gives us our elevation, so we have all the different heights going on here. We can change them right at the elevation point to adjust wall heights, things of that nature. Our header heights, we can add a elevation height to, like say the header height, we want to add that. So there's a lot of different elements that are right here that we could easily use. But just for sake of course content, I want to show you how to be able to create these. So go to the View tab. Under Create, we have plan views, we have elevations, schedules, we have all sorts of different things that we could create and add to this project. So what we're going to do is we're going to create an elevation, and it is literally the same as our elevation markers that are already on this drawing that are set up that I've told you to draw within those elevation markers, because we could easily click on those and we would get the elevation just as well as going over to the project browser. I'm going to go ahead and click on all of the different elevations just so I have it, cancel. And then if I come over here to Elevation Project Browser, you're going to see that I have to rename them because it named in the computer format. So if I go ahead and click on elevation 1, which should be that bottom one, I'm going to call this the, oops, oh shoot, whoops, I should have right-clicked on that to go to rename, and I'm going to rename this the front elevation. Okay, so once I click on the front elevation, then I have this box that I can click on that's around it. And within this, I can enlarge this by using the grips. I can decrease this size. So say I want to be able to go into this portion right here. So it's a nice way to be able to really determine the size of the elevation, interior elevation, exterior elevation, whatever we're going to use, and put on our sheet sets. So go ahead and do that for each side. Let's name them front elevation, rear elevation, right elevation, and left elevation. And then I'll continue the video to our next segment to get done. So I went ahead and I did all 4 elevations and I decreased my window size. This is also going to help because we're creating this window that we're going to then import over into our sheet sets when we get ready here for the final drawings. So see how my roof line elevation is kind of cutting through this top here? I don't know if this is happening to you, but it's happening to me. And then on the front and the rear elevation, you're going to miss that top of roof right there. So I'm going to highlight this and delete it and see if that will. Yes, it's going to delete it there. That's fine. And just get rid of that elevation. Front. Let's see. Do I need to refresh? Always go through the motions of saving, refreshing. My elevation. Let's see if I have to increase this. And over here, why are we not seeing that top of? All right, so let me try to figure this out here. Okay, so our view, so again, I'm missing the top of my roofs on my front and rear elevation. So if I go ahead and click on this box and then go back to the first floor plan, you're going to see that box right there. And you're going to see this hidden line that goes, in this direction here. It's not far enough. That window, I'm just going to grab one of those arrows. That window is not far enough opened in order for us to see the top of that house. So let's go to the rear elevation again right there. So I'm going to click on this blue box. I'm going to go to my floor plan and I'm going to increase that viewing box. And so now when I go to my rear elevation, I could see what's going on there. So just be careful when you're, decreasing some of these that I was playing around with on the elevation part, because if all of a sudden you have a hidden line or something's not connected as it should be on your other elevations, click on that outer box and go over to your floor plan, and then you can adjust accordingly. All right, let me show you where the interior elevation would be, or an interior elevation tag, they call it. So we want to select from the View tab, Create, and we're going to do the elevation tool from this Create on the ribbon here. Elevation tool, framing elevation. So let's see, we're going to grab vertical bracing. No, I do not want that, but I do want, say I want this wall right here. Cancel. So with that, over in my project browser, I can click on the elevation I just created. I can rename it. Yes, and I'm going to name this fridge, cabinet, wall. Enter, and then I'm going to go ahead and double click on that to open it up to get an interior view. Now we can click on that window box and we could go over to the first floor plan, and you can see you have this line that is in the house, in the space here. Oh, and there it is. You can see this opening right here. Now, if I was to go, to this space right here, and I went back over, you would see I only see the fridge because my window box, right, is beyond, or yeah, it's not showing enough of this wall. I could also go back even a little bit further than that, so I can get this wall too. Maybe there's a built-in here, or some type of a bench. If we were able to do a furniture layout, or if you're able to do a furniture layout, that's great, because that would show up right here. Here's the hallway. I don't have my upper cabinets here. I didn't complete my cabinetry, but I would like you to have yours completed. I need to work on that, and I'll upload it into this last assignment here. But anyways, you would see your cabinetry here, and then you could see if you didn't like the structure of the cabinets, maybe you want drawers, so we can fool around with this. And then what a great selling tool this is. We have our interior door style as a 2-panel right here. So for quoting purposes, for construction, for the client, this is just such a powerful tool. We're going to be going into BIM in the fall, and we talk about all these different things, and being able to have access to all this information through Revit, and through CAD for that matter as well too, because we can build these programs as such that it includes all of the details to give a proper estimate to all involved. So anyways, so fool around with that with your interior elevations, and we can add a page to our sheet sets. Now I'm going to show you how to do the sheet sets so you can get your project completed and hand it in. Okay, let's start our sheet sets. So under View, Sheet Composition, you see that there's a sheet right here. So this is one of the ways that you could create it. Now, don't forget, over in our project browser, we already have all of these sheets set up from the template that we had started. But if we needed to add any or change any, this is where you would do it. View, Sheet, Composition, and Sheet. When you open this up, it's actually going to give you different sizes. Don't forget, you guys know this stuff at this point. B size paper is 11 by 17. D is 22 by 34 or 24 by 36 is the typical size for D. And then C is your 18 by 24 inch. Those are the three main prints that you'll be doing, or sheets that you will be working with to print for working drawings. So that's one way to be able to create it. But let's just jump right into the elevations that we already have. So I'm going to go over here to A6 where it says elevations. Okay, and then I come to this. Don't forget, we already set up our title box down here. So now all we need to do, it's really simple actually, is click and drag. So if I wanted this to be the front elevation, I could take that, I highlighted it in the project browser, and I'm clicking and dragging. But look what happens. So there's that window box that we were talking about. It doesn't even fit in my drawing area, does it? So I'm going to cancel out of that, and I'm going to go over to my front elevation, and I'm going to tighten up this window. I can also decrease the size of all of these line lengths. So again, so I can bring this in. I think we can get both. Let me bring this down a little bit. I think we can get both front elevation and rear elevation on one sheet. So I want to jump over to that rear elevation. I want to take all of these, bring them over, and I want to just tighten up this box. So I can try to get two elevations on one sheet set. Okay, there's that. So now let's go back. I have everything up here. Let's go back over to this elevation, front elevation. I'm going to bring it. Hello. There we go. And there it is. Look at it. It just fits nicely right on there. I can leave that there. You can see that there's a little title right here. Front elevation, 1/4 inch equals a foot. We want to make sure that when we print this on whatever size paper it is, 1/4 inch equals a foot is going to fit on there. So let's see if we can get the rear elevation on here. And bring it over, and it's not going to quite fit within that box. But, all right, if I go back over to my rear elevation, can I decrease this a little bit more? And then go back over to the elevation. There it is. Okay, good. So I'm able to get both front and rear elevation on here. One thing that we didn't have time for was our rear deck. I would have liked to have worked on that part a little bit further with you guys, but we did not have time in this quick summer class. Over here in my title box, actually, I'm going to change it. I'm going to change it here. I want to rename this A6, and I'm going to keep it as A6 for now. Front and rear elevations. Okay, and there it is. It changed it over there on the title box, and it changed it in my project browser. Now I want you to go ahead and do that for each individual plan. So I'm going to go to the first floor plan here. And it's already put in there, probably because I already had it in there. Let me go back over here. And you just want to make sure that it's labeled properly. I don't like this outer box, but that is this outer box. Let's see. You know what? I'm going to delete. Let's see. Oh, I just turned my computer off on accident. Sorry about that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do my other elevation page. There's my other elevation page. And I want to bring in the right and left elevations. So here's this one. Put this right up here. And again, we could go back and we can clean up those dimension lines that are on there for, all right, there's that one. I don't like that. That's crossing over there. So that is the, what is this elevation? That's the left elevation. So left elevation, click on the box, clean things up a little bit. Right there. I'm going to bring this line over. So again, just go through all of your drawings, clean them up so they look nice on your drawing page. There's that one there, and then again, I can just go ahead and I can change the elevation name. And I can put on here, this is going to be the left and right elevations. All right, and then so I want you to complete the rest just like that. Change the elevation names, or change the names, change the sheet sets, and follow the what pages you need to complete.